In no way I am
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Because
So, I made a video about this a while ago, but I never put it out because it's just me talking. Sound the horns, and this is a very important thing, at least to me, because if people don't know the truth, then people have false pride. If people have false pride, then people will stay in their delusions and will all keep calling each other colors and will keep letting each other get named something, and then we hold pride to this name that someone gave to us.
Hi, my name is Dr. Cruz, and I'm a media studies professor whose research focuses primarily on matters of race. And I received the following question on Instagram about whether or not people in the Latino community can be considered people of color. The message reads, Dr. Cruz, my wife, who is Chinese American, and I, who am Mexican American, have been having heated arguments regarding whether I can call myself a person of color. Could you please address how the Latinx community can claim both white and non-white monikers, and why this is triggering to other peoples of color? Thank you very much. I'm absolutely happy to answer this question. But first, a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, Latinidad is a complicated subject matter, and I am talking from a perspective of someone who is Latino and also has read scholarship on this issue. That being said, reasonable minds may disagree with what I'm about to say. And number two...
See, in my video, it's just me saying shit that this man's gonna say, and the other parts of the video gonna say. But when you hear it from just a black guy, you're like, man, fuck that nigga. But when you hear it from your own people that are actually researchers and shit, you know, then you can't say nothing.
I'm not in the business of selling marital disputes, so just understand I'm operating as an educator and not picking a side, right? So the first thing to consider is, what is the function of a phrase like Latin American and all of its variations like Latino and Latine and all the others, right?
It's a proxy.
The first function of these terms is a matter of pragmatics and geography. They refer to those who have origins within Latin America, that is to say from Mexico down to Chile, as well as the islands associated with the American landmass. These terms also serve an ideological function, as the phrase Latin American has its roots in the second invasion of Mexico by France in the 1860s. At that time, Napoleon III created propaganda that argued that the Mexicans were the Latins of America, just as the French were the Latins of Europe, so don't resist. And now, about a century and a half later, these terms are used to refer to the populations of about 2/3 of the American landmass, and it creates this sort of homogenous, monocultural perception of Latin America. And as a side note, this actually kind of gets to why I don't particularly care for these terms. It's not just the Eurocentrism, it's also the perception of a monolithic culture. However, I also recognize that these terms can be used to identify those that have had particular colonial experiences with particular countries, and I think there's value in that. But what does this have to do with Latinos identifying as people of color or white, especially in the eyes of other POC? Well, because these terms are used so broadly to encompass so many different peoples, they include white and non-white folks. These terms aren't meant to be racial identifiers. They are, I would argue, barely functional as ethnic group identifiers. You have people of European descent who've been in Latin.
Do you understand that he's saying these words are just made up man words to just give you something to feel?
America for generations. They're Latine. You have people that are Afro-Latine who have roots in the transatlantic slave trade. You have indigenous Latine who have been detribalized, not to be confused with the indigenous peoples of Latin America who have resisted a Latinidad identity and have preserved their own sense of indigeneity. What further complicates this is that you have people who grow up in Latin American countries that are part of the dominant racial caste who may consider themselves some form of white, who then find out that they're not white by the standards of another country, like if they come to the United States and they're regarded as non-white. So, for example, I know a professor who's from...
Why would you want to be called a white person, but you don't live in America? You're a Latino, and you're surrounded by other people of different color that are Latino and black people, because we know we're there, and you're calling yourselves white people. You really believe you's made that up? You don't think that's a legal term? Meaning, we're the high class, and they're the poor class. We're yin, and they're yang. That's what the fuck black and white is. Yin and yang. Except in the people world, if you're white, you're automatically right. If you're a lighter, you're automatically righter.
In Colombia and is a part of the dominant racial caste there, and she likes to say that she thanks the devil for bringing her to the United States so that she could understand the racism that happens in her own country.
Oh.
So what this means is that being Latin American in and of itself doesn't make you white or non-white. In fact, if you understand whiteness as affiliation with a dominant racial caste, depending on where you are, you could be either. We also have to allow for the fact that people are perceived differently. Where I'm from, there are no white people who look like me. And so part of my self-concept is that of a person of color because that's the experience that I've had. And yet you looking at the screen may see me and think, that's just another white guy with a tan. And further complicating that is that if I embrace my Latinidad by doing things like wearing cowboy boots to work, then my non-white status may become a little more clear. So I guess I'll conclude.
You see how he throws in there quick? If I wear these cowboy boots, it means because white people are more known to rock the cowboy boots and shit. You get it? Stereotypical. Who made cowboys famous though? We did. Who made it fucking poppin'? Black people. You know a cowboy's a black person, right? And a cowhand is a white man that does the similar job. They don't call white people cowboys. They call niggers boys. You're a boy. You're a cow boy. You're a man that handles the cows. But if you're a white man that handles the cows, you're a cow hand. So, you know, by you even saying words that mean you're a black person and you don't even know it, don't you think that's a little strange?
By saying this, Latinidad is a complicated thing that changes and means different things depending on your context, and you should always be mindful of your proximity to whiteness, whether that's in your own self-concept or in the eyes of other people.
How black are the Dominicans really? The answer may surprise you. While Dominicans, just like other Caribbean Latinos, mainly descend from 3 large ancestral groups, there is something about them that is different from Puerto Ricans.
Think about the concept of a people group can have 3 different ancestors. Then go and look up other people and you're going to find out they don't have 3 ancestors. They got 1 or 2, you know? That's because the only way you're going to have 3 ancestors is if, you know, 2 different people mate. And then they find another person and then they get it. It's 3 different races mating with each other. And out of all 3 of those original races, they're creating a new race of people. Because all their blood's in that one people now. That's a new people group that didn't exist on the earth before those 3 people groups got together. Where in history did 3 major groups of people say, we're going to make new people? What part of history is that?
And Cubans. For starters, they're the least native descended group out of the 3, with only 8% of their genome being that of Taino origin. Now where they truly differ from Cubans and...
Did you know that the Tainos are supposedly the original people that were on America before anybody came? So they have the original people's blood in them. Let's see who else is inside of them.
Puerto Ricans is that they possess 42% of South Saharan African ancestry, which is double that of Puerto Ricans, and is the highest average out of all Hispanic countries. However...
Okay, so you're... have bloodline from the original Americans, whoever was here first, because there's semantics on what they look like. Christopher Columbus said they're swarthy. Swarthy means black. So you have the original black Taino blood in you, if you're a Dominican, and you have African blood in you. That's what they're saying right now.
At 50%, their European ancestry is still major, and by itself is the largest ancestral component. Please keep in mind that these results are the average, and individuals can vary.
So, a Dominican person has 3 different bloodlines in them. They're original Americans, and then Africans, and then Europeans. What thing happened in history where all 3 of those people started to mate together in love and peace? Or was it something else that, people started, getting Christopher Columbus and stuff? So, now, make sense of that. I don't want anybody to get mad. I don't want people to be like, listen, I didn't make this shit up. I didn't make them say that stuff. I just, figured it out a long time ago because I never knew things like this by researching and learning and then saying, wait up. That doesn't make sense to what people say about other people and having ancestors. And then I went and looked around the time and said, oh, that's how they were. Oh, okay. Sound orange.
So while some people mock Dominicans for claiming to be mixed rather than solely black, it should be noted that they have almost equal proportions of European and African ancestry, on average have 25% less South Saharan ancestry than African Americans, and 40% less than Haitians. So to put it in perspective, Dominicans are the most African out of Latinos and are nearly half African in their ancestry. But they still have more European descent than African Americans and Haitians.
Why would they say African Americans? Why didn't they just say Africans? They got more European in them than Africans. Oh, because African Americans had a problem with the Europeans mating with them. Remember? So, can you say, I'm not like, it's so obvious. It's literally so obvious. Now, I don't live in Puerto Rico. Never been down to South America, but I've met multiple people, that lived around there and moved up here. I met Dominicans all my life, I've lived in a very diverse place. So, I grew up with people, you know what I mean? And when you grow up with people, you ask questions. And sometimes you get answers. Anyway, so that always had my mind wondering, right? Because I always, talk to Dominican people and, and ask questions about things. And I ain't never not got the same answer all through my life, And I used to always ask, how is it, how do they treat you down there? Because, you're black, you have an afro, but you're not black, you're Spanish, but you look like me. I fucking ran into so many Dominicans in my life and really thought they were black that it's ridiculous. And that shit used to always really stand out in my mind, like, what the fuck? Like, how they look like us, how they get treated like us, but they're not us. Because the more and more I would learn how they got treated in their country, I used to not even think that was their country. I used to think they got enslaved and like put over there or something. I never knew the things that I know now. And then it all started making sense. I said, yo, it's just like what the white man said about, to the white girls and anybody else when they had us over here and had all those laws. If you fucking touch one of them, you get one drop of their blood, you're a them now. And we ain't fucking with you like that. And I just, hearing the stories of the men and the women talking about how they'd be just, like, bad stories, bro. Like, bad. Just as bad as black people getting attacked by white people. And that shit used to baffle my mind, because I'm like, but that's them. You know? Like, it makes sense why the white man and the black man fight. We ain't them. They're not us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not us. They don't look like us. We have different everything. And then it, like, when I learned more and more about the European and having sex and how babies can come out looking like this and like that, I started questioning. That's when I always said there's only two kind of people in the world. There's only two kind of people. The straight hair people and the Afro motherfuckers. That's the only two people there is. Everyone else is just a fucking, you're what you got, a little curly? Your shit a little curly, but it's still straight. You know what I'm saying? And it's the proof of it. If you have curly Afro-like hair with dark skin, you're finished in this world. You could be a white boy, and I've seen like white boys with red hair and have like froze and shit, you know? I've seen white boys with different type of mushroom type, you know? But it's really just curly. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not the exact same, but they got their skin's light. Now, if you make that motherfucker dark with that red ass hair and that poof, it's a wrap for his ass. His whole life gonna be different, bro. And it took really living and just hearing testimonies after testimonies, right? And then my Lord said, I'm gonna make you at 40-something years old, I'm gonna make you move to an old Spanish town. How about that? You're gonna learn how bad that shit really is, because you're gonna walk around and they're gonna think you're Dominican, and they're not, and they don't even like Dominicans already. And when they find out you're black, hey, you're really fucked now, buddy. Oh, the fucking the bullshit that I had to go through just to even just be, bro, like just to be fighting for a job that ain't even really good. Motherfuckers saying all types of racist shit, gringo this and fucking and I'm like, yo, bro, it's a fucking regular job, nigga. We sweeping the floors. It ain't like I'm trying to make a come up out this bitch. Trying to be the best sweeper, bro. And I was like, yo, this shit is real. Like, racism is really real, bro. Like, to the point where people still deny it. And, like, and it's not even like the fucking, it's not years and years of everyone talking about it. It's not years and years of everyone fucking exposing this shit. And people still pretend. It's so corny. It's so corny now. Like, racism is so corny. Because it was one thing when nobody could figure it out, 25. But now, it's like all the Afros, they're all coming out, showing the truth and being like, yo, bro, we know what you niggas is doing. And then we're figuring out these deeper things like these mysteries. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like DNA work or whatever, the actual phenotypes of people, and actually being able to see who people really are, not just judging off looks exactly, but more of dominant looks, you know what I mean? Like noses, ears, eyes, hair. These are the fucking things that are you know what I mean? These are DNA tests, nigga. They stripped our brains of how to even fucking look at each other the right way. It's retarded, bro. And then the biggest DNA test there ever was, the Bible, bro. And that's the sickest part of all of it. I gotta smack y'all niggas with the Bible all the time. And no matter what culture you are nowadays, I believe in Jesus. No, you don't. You don't believe nothing the fucking book said. You don't go by nothing the book said, and you damn sure don't give a shit about what it said, because 90% of what everyone's doing to each other is fucking wrong. You're all using the book to fucking subjugate each other. And it's so stupid. Like, it's really dumb. Like, I forgot, oh yeah, what did the Bible say? The Lord said,
whatever dick you come out of, you are a fucking sperm cell, bro. People gotta start looking at life for fucking simple ass real shit. You're not your fucking body, bro. You are a fucking sperm cell that grew big. Your fucking brain is your sperm cell, you dumb jackasses. Your body ain't nothing but a car, my nigga. It's armor to walk this physical world. You are that little ass sperm cell grown, nigga. Your brain is the sperm cell. Why you think you got that little spinal cord and all of that? Don't you realize everything about the mind and the brain and the body is all the brain and the spinal cord, bro? That's why if your spinal cord get fucked up, nigga, you're done. You're paralyzed. Break your fucking spine at the top of your body, your whole body's done, nigga. Why? Because that's your tail, nigga. Your sperm cell, nigga. I'm cutting your fucking legs off, nigga. You don't, like, people don't look at this shit so simple because they got us loving these bodies so much. Gotta get this muscles up. Gotta make this outer shell so good. And then everything we actually do hurt the fucking brain. Y'all stupid ass niggas ain't figured this shit out yet. Everything we do attack the brain. Everything's attacking the brain. The shit we eat to the things you watch on TV. Everything attacks you, the real you. While you destroy the outer you by putting shit all over your body and swearing this shit's good for you. It's a fucking joke, bro. Now back to this real shit. Like, I don't even like talking about DNA like this, cause this is where all racism and all this shit really stem from. Why? Because once you go to that Bible and it says, whoever your ass came out of a nutsack, that's where the fuck your ass is. That's who you is. You know what scientists keep saying now? Well, Europeans is their ancestors are white. I mean, their ancestors are black. They're Africans. And now Tainos and your ancestors and Latins and your ancestors are black people. And Chinese, their ancestors are black people. So what the fuck does that really mean? What does that mean? It means when you keep going back and everybody jumps back in their daddy's nutsack and it keeps reversing through time like that, you'll find out that all you came out of African nutsacks. Get it? That's why the world keeps trying to say, the world was the Garden of Eden's in Africa. No. The Bible said Ham is the progenitor of many, many races. Many dark races. Duh. Nobody ever talks about Japhet, though. You ever notice everybody talks about Shem and Ham, but nobody talks about Japhet and Cain? Why? How come nobody fucking talks about those two major figures in the Bible that are all about the future? How come nobody talks about those people? Oh yeah, because then niggas will start figuring out bigger mysteries and then shit'll really get rocking. You know? There's so much no information talked about Japhet. Nigga, motherfucker, who Japhet? Half you motherfuckers don't even know who Japhet is. You don't even know that's fucking Noah's son. You don't even know that's Shem's brother. You niggas hear the three brothers get off, and I guarantee you never think of that name. You think of Ham and Shem. And even if you can say Japhet, what you know about the nigga? Where'd he go? Where'd he build his kingdom? How the fuck did he take over? What the fuck is he doing? Nobody knows. But that Bible's is right there. Shout out Obi-Wan Kenobi. You was teaching about Japhet, and that's why I fucked with you, my nigga, because I knew I had to be somewhere right when, you know, everybody else that swear they study that fucking Bible, they sure don't bring that nigga name up, because they know what time it is. Yeah, Japhet and Cain living in the Shent of Tim. Yeah, a lot of niggas don't want to read that verse. Everybody don't want to read the verse about how Cain's supposed to be a servant like Shem and, yeah, right? Yeah. Because then niggas will start realizing you got a problem, bro. It's a whole lot of Mr. Traders and niggas, and nobody knows, it seems, who nobody knows who nobody is. because everybody's worrying about these skin colors and these fucking stupid ass titles and names that other people gave us. I thought it was bad when I figured out I'm a black American. Wait up, that don't make sense. Sound horns. I'm a fucking African American. Nope, that ain't real. I'm a Negro. Nope, that's another name niggas gave us. And that's when I was like, yo, wait up. If these motherfuckers gave us all these names, motherfucker, what the fuck? The fuck is our name then? Because my grandma thinks she a Negro. Her daughter thought she an African American. And on the books, they're telling us they gave us these names. When the fuck we gonna grow up and say we gonna pick our own fucking name? So I be laughing at niggas when niggas talk all this dumb shit. Niggas is talking about getting together and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, bro, we ain't even fucking grown enough and mature enough to pick a fucking name for ourselves. That's how immature they made us. They made us so immature, we know they took our fucking name and we won't make one up. We know they took our culture, we won't make one up. We know they took our dress code, we won't make one up. And then we'll pound the youth, sound the horns, and tell the youth, yeah, we gotta be traditional, you know what I'm saying? Whose traditions, nigga? They been told your ass was free. They been told you everything they did to you, so what the fuck you mean tradition? You mean the shit they told your ass? The shit is ridiculous, man. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk like I got all the answers, bro. I ain't got no answers. I only got questions. You know what I'm saying? I got questions that motherfuckers smarter than us should be answering. You know? But you know what won't happen? People won't ask these questions. People just so used to the way things are and having these dumbass fights about everything, bro. I remember one time I used to hear that South Americans are a part of the lost tribe of Israel. And I used to be like, man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. What the fuck you talking about, dog? You sound stupid, nigga. Most High chose us, nigga. Stop trying to give our shit away, right? And then I learned the history of Dominicans and said, oh, that's why I look just like them. That's why they get hated on just like me. Because they got my motherfucking blood, nigga. And then a nigga learned about Afro-Asians and how they get treated like shit over there. And I said, oh, shit. I said, this sure a lot of black Americans, so-called black Americans, you know, we was in wars, we fought for our freedom, we traveled the world, and, you know, we you know, black men do what a black man do. They're gonna drop some babies off. You know, it's not like we didn't have a history back in ancient days. Like, we didn't just pop up out of nowhere, you know. So then that made me realize something. I said, yo, them camp ass niggas is kind of right. I remember when I used to look at it like, nah, they wrong. Like, how you gonna say them? But they still wrong in a way because they say all of them niggas hard. And I'm like, nah, nigga, that's why my spirit made me feel like that. Like, nah, you ain't gonna tell me dudes that diluted themselves. See, a lot of people can claim they're black because, you know, Africa and, you know, everyone keeps saying that's their ancestors. And then everyone's going to find out that America was inhabited by black people, Shem. And you're going to find out that we made a bunch of races of people, though. Period. Everyone's going to find these things out little by little. And then once you realize we're your daddies, and you've been killing your grandfathers and grandmothers, and the Bible came true already, saying that the children will rule the earth over the adults, everything will start making sense to everything. You know, why, you know, like the black American people keep inventing all these things, and everybody keeps wanting to be the thing we invent. You know, why everybody cannot not copy us. Because it's been done so many times that it's like a fucking it's like, I don't even know. It's normal now to do it. You know what I mean? I realized it now. Like how I showed in the cowboy video, and I showed all the styles from the 30s to the 40s to the 50s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. It's all been the black man. Every popular style in America since the fucking 40s, dog. We made that cowboy shit poppin'. We made jazz and rock and roll and all that shit. We did all that shit first, dog. And then they seen us do it. These niggas can't come up with shit. So they took our shit. And that's it. And they recorded it. So whenever you want to, you know, pretend, you pretend. And we're going to keep knowing it because, you know, the white man wrote shit down and laughs in our fucking face like, hey, you sold it to us, nigga. Ain't my fault y'all ain't know nothing about how fucking talented your music was and you're going to make billions of dollars off it. Oh, yeah, forgot. You don't know things like that. You already know we have the power of company, of promoting your shit. You only can make up shit. You don't own the contracts. You don't own none of that. So no matter what you create, nigga, you're never gonna own the thing you create. You're only gonna be the best at it. You ain't gonna own it though, nigga. And that shit got me hot, bro. But then I realized, you know what I'm saying? Why be mad, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? The money ain't really, you know, it ain't what it's all about. It'd be great to be billionaires. Like, y'all hate us so much. It's so sad, like, it really is. You can tell we're being destroyed. Yo, dog, do y'all realize not only of all of our stars, every genre of music, if we made up, every invention, every single thing, right? If we really actually got to own it and get paid for it, black people in America would never work, my nigga. All of us at once. Our inventors and our entertainers would make so much money, our entire nation of fucking black people would not have to work in America. We would be able to take care of each other, dog. That's how fucking important we are. That's how special we are. That's how much money we make. We make so much money, 1% of us would make enough money to take care of all the millions of us. That's how special we are. Period. You don't believe me? Look at the billions of dollars, everything that we do, create. Billions and billions, each thing. Basketball, sports, the fucking music, the inventions, all these motherfucking things, dog. We would be so set that we'd be able to feed each other for lifetimes. We would never need to ask anyone for anything ever again. And the easiest way that all black people will be able to contribute is because none of us know which one's going to be the next star. So all we'd have to do is just sit around and feed ourselves, take care of ourselves, and then raise our sons and daughters up to be better entertainers than we are. Sit around, do nothing. That could be our entire lives as black people. But we don't take care of each other, and we don't own the industries that we dominate in. So we can't do that. That's how fucking sad it is. You don't think all those black men never thought in their life, I got all this money. I got all this money, and it doesn't even take half my money. If we all put a little bit of money together, we can literally get all of our people up out the struggle. By, you know, producing things and making jobs for them. You know? Like everyone else in the world does. Whenever they want to make something and give their people shit, they go to the government, they talk about what they want to do, they fuck the fucking money up, and they go, look, we about to build this. And that's it. You telling me we hate each other that much? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Which brings me to my next point. If the black man has been, you know, dipping and dabbing, and the Most High said, wherever you drop your seed, you're them. You're that, you know what I'm saying? How many of us are there really then? See, you just hate us and, you know, but if you look like us, you get treated like us. So there's really no difference. See, man, I'm just sitting here talking to the coffee shop guy, and he's like Palestinian, I believe. And like he got 2 bad knees and shit. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm out this motherfucker 7 days a week, man. Shit killing me. And I said, God damn, bro, like so fucked up the world, bro. Like everybody, like there's so many people gotta work so fucking hard for nothing. And I told him, I was like, man, I know what you mean, bro. I gotta work 6 days a week and I ain't gotta do a super hard shit. But that shit's aggravating, bro. I'm like, yo, this is just, then you ain't making enough, so it's not even like the shit's worth it. And then we were like, I was like, yeah, man, the world is real fucking fucked up right now. He's like, nah, the world is upside down right now. I say, yo, you're right. I said, I really believe like that. I have a lot of hope for people, but I'm like, the world's finished, bro. And he's like, yeah, it really is. I said, the only thing that can really make things, no, he said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I said, yeah, I kind of believe you because, you know, it's like a storm. And most people don't realize because they're fucking weak. They think we went through the storm with all these things that have happened. We don't even realize, nigga, that was the beginning, nigga. What's about to start hitting this earth, nigga? Y'all about to really see. Like, everybody think, even myself, bro. And I can't prepare for it. You know what I'm saying? And being someone that actually cares, when people see what motherfuckers really been warning everybody about, bro, y'all, motherfuckers gonna really see, bro. Everybody worrying about hating on each other with all these stupid ass things. You black, you white, you this or that. And I'm like, yo, bro, a lot of people got a lot more real shit to worry about. And just like the dude said, he said, the only thing that's gonna help the world is God. I say, you right, bro. Like, really, we're in a point in time where man cannot help man right now. And we really can't. I mean, maybe, I don't know what the fuck, you know? But this shit is just scary, man. Anyway, I hope my Latino brothers, even the ones that ain't got the afros, I hope y'all ain't hating and getting mad at this video, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make y'all wake up to the truth too, you know what I'm saying? Like, that video said that y'all got a little bit of black in you too. And the reason y'all still got black in you is because, you know, like I said, y'all made it. Christopher Columbus made it with the natives, and he said they were dark-skinned, swarthy people. So, you know, like when you realize that white people had the same problem, and Chinese people had the same problem, and what they would do is called the Yakuv. See, I didn't teach the big head scientists, I didn't teach it. I didn't show that shit for no reason. Because I know it really happened. When you watch that story, all you're watching is man figuring out that if I have sex with different people that look different, the children will come out looking different, thus making a new race. And then if I only make the light ones to have sex with the light ones or lighter people, we will eradicate this dark flesh and we will eventually start making new shit. Period. And, you know, now thousands of years later, everybody's finding out, I got black in me. I'm black. I hate niggas, but my great-great-great-great-grandfather's a nigga. I love that shit. I love to be able to say that and nobody can prove it, disprove it now. I remember it was just theories and shit. And then, you know, the white man went on TV and said, yeah, we're niggas. We're black, really. Which defeats the whole, you know, racist thing. It literally should, but, you know, it doesn't. Motherfuckers be mad anyway. And then I realized, are they really mad at Africans? Because I don't think so. They still got a country, right? And then I think about black Americans, and I'm like, yeah, they sure didn't let the foot off your ass. So who they really mad at? Oh, they ain't mad at their ancestor. Okay, well, yeah, that would make sense, you know. That would make sense. You know, you didn't go over there and completely pound them out like you did over here. So, yeah, I would think you're not too mad at each other. I don't think y'all really get along too well, but, you know. Hey, look at Russia and China and all the other motherfuckers that was fighting against each other that found out we're all Africans. You know, so I think these things should be uniting people. People should be more open for discussions of where everybody fits in, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine what it's like to be Dominican and you don't know you really have, well, I'm sure some of them do, but, you know, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't know these things. And you're Dominican, you never heard of none of the sign shit, right? But you get treated like you're black in your own country, you know, with the Puerto Ricans or wherever the Dominicans are at, you know what I mean? I don't want to fucking disrespect, but I can only imagine what that feels like to be like, yo, you're a Latino and I'm Latino and we're both on the same thing, but you're treating me like those white people treat those fucking black people, and what the fuck are you doing? Are we of you or are we not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense when white people and black people do it because we could fucking clearly look at each other and be like, nigga, you ain't me, nigga. You ain't me. You know what I mean? That shit used to baffle my mind when I used to hear these stories and all these things, and I'm like, that shit is so weird, bro. Like, but then it let me realize that all it takes is a difference. The difference is, you know, the skin color. That's all it takes is for people to start. You're not me. You're not. We're not the same. Even though you're the same, you're just not. You know, one went yin more and one went yang more. That's it. You can't determine. Like, nobody gets to say, I want to go down there in a white body. I want to be born Colombian. Nobody gets to choose. You know what I'm saying? No one gets to fucking choose. So it's like, once I started figuring out these things, like, people are mixed and then these people are fucking mad at each other and all this, I say, yo, what the fuck is really going on? And how aren't people figuring these things out and then stop beefing with each other? Or not stop beefing with each other and just be like, all right, we don't want to be a part of you. We ain't going to accept you to come over here and dilute our skin that we diluted already. You're not going to give us extra darkiness. No, we don't want to do that. We played the Yakub thing. We like this new way. We like this stringy hair. And we're going to keep going like the white man. We want to be, you know, the white version, Puerto Rican version of white or whatever, I guess. If that's how you're going to say it. I don't really get it because I never knew that down there they did that. I didn't know they did that. And then when I learned about thuggies from ancient India, I found out they were doing the black and white thing back then. I said, wait the fuck up. That's thousands of years ago. You mean this acting like it's something else and saying I'm this color and but it was Indians. And I said, wait up, Indians, they all look the same almost, right? I don't see white light Indians. And I said, wait, this is fucking baffling. And then it hit my brain. It's word magic, nigga. If I can get you to say you're white and I can get you to say you're black, you are divided as a people now and you're fucked. Because, you know, divide and conquer. You know? These things baffle my mind, but it doesn't baffle my mind because, you know, power, lies, and things, division, it creates a vacuum of ignorance, and within ignorance comes chaos, and within chaos, you know, people can piece together shit back together and call it order. You know, I guess. I don't really know, but what I do know is I hope everybody has a good day. I hope people start, just learning a little bit more about your genealogy and shit, because you probably smarter than I am, probably could work computer better than I can. You can find some things out. Because last time I checked, if you want to go on and do your little DNA test, well, I want you to do with these YouTube people or TikTok, wherever the fuck I seen it. Before you give your swab of spit, I want you to go to a cat, a dog, a lizard, and I want you to put the swab in their fucking mouth first, and I want you to send it to the police, and when they send you back evidence that your cat is half Portuguese and fucking Spaniard, you're gonna realize, wait up, I didn't know my cat had human DNA. It fucking doesn't, nigga. So when you find out, you're not gonna rely on that because they're fucking making shit up. And they announced it too. They literally announced it. Like, one of the companies is like, yo, we can't really pinpoint shit super accurate. What the fuck is wrong with you people? So, you're just gonna have to deal with that.
That was left on under this post. In no way I am like negating what this person commented, because historically Miami has been racist. Like, let's talk about how on South Beach, Black entertainers couldn't even stay in the hotels, like Fontainebleau. Black people could not stay in those hotels. They would have to cross over the bridge and stay in like Overtown or whatever. So yeah, Miami has historically been racist. Yes. I can only speak from my experience of living in Miami. I've been in South Florida 7 years, but I lived in Miami for 4 of those 7 years. And I personally have not experienced any racism. Now, it's not to say that it's not there, but Miami is also truly, neighborhood-wise, it's divided. Depending on what neighborhood you live, you will only see certain type of people, and that's just how it is here. I used to live downtown Miami, and in my experience, and I used to live and work in...
Name one place in America that's not segregated. Everybody has their own space, except black people. We had our own spaces, and then, niggas started getting moved out. And that's it. It's the same thing like back in, when we got free from the South. We all moved up north thinking we're going to get jobs. Then they found out racism was still there, and you're going to get robbed anyway. So niggas moved out west. And they found out it's the same thing over there, so, now we're everywhere. And whoever got good, where they got good, they stayed there and did what they could. We're hundreds of years later, and entire towns are, run by certain groups of people. Because this is not a melting pot. It's just a bunch of people, taking chunks and migrating to one area. Because just like countries, everybody feels safer around their own people. It would just be common sense. Right? The thing is, when you're not governing over your own people, when you're not policing your own people, shit can still happen.
In downtown Miami, so I would walk to work and walk home from work, and the only black people that I would see besides myself would be the doorman that would greet me when I left my building. People think Miami is so diverse. It is. It's diverse, but like I said, it's very segregated. So when I first came to Miami in 2009, I stayed in South Beach because I didn't know any better, and that's where everyone goes. And you saw a lot of black people there. You saw a lot of black people on South Beach. But you have to realize that majority of those people on South Beach are tourists, and they don't live in Miami. So when I lived in downtown Miami, and I was like, yo, where the black people at? Like, I'm asking, like, where black people at? they're not there. They're not there in like downtown. They're not there in like the Brickell area, Coral Gables. Like, it's very few of us. Now, I don't live in that area anymore. The area that I decided to reside in, Miami, is more of a mixed community, and I'm not the only Black person. And even when I go out to dine or establishments, I try to support just Black-owned businesses because the service is usually 100 times better. They understand me and they give me great service. So Miami can be hella racist. So I encourage everyone to support Black-owned businesses. When you visit Miami, when you come here and you live here or you're visiting, look up Black establishments to support and spend your dollars there.
No, don't do that. You'd be considered being racist. You only want to spend money with your own people. You ever notice they always say that when we want to start spending money with our own people? You're being racist. You're segregating yourself from us. No, we want some of our people to get rich. How about that? You want to object to that? Object to that. Say that's unfair. We don't give a fuck. We want to see one of us get super rich and open up a franchise. Is that not fair? Should we not do that? Or is that racist? You know? All love, all praise to the Most High. I hope everybody's got something to think about. I hope people realize my people are not racist. We don't have enough power to be racist, first of all. Saying things isn't racist, especially when you're saying the truth. And, you know, racism and, you know, all these words mean you gotta have like kind of power. When people say Black people are reverse racist, I say you're a bitch ass nigga then. Because if me running my mouth makes you feel some way compared to you slaughtering me and pushing me off land and robbing businesses, well, I don't give a fuck how you feel. Because yous did worse. And you called us names and made us think we were monkey men. So if you think I give a fuck about you caring about how I talk, you're crazy.